Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany for your copious SmackDown review. That's right. We're going to be here all night long, taking your calls, your questions, your comments, your hopes, your dreams, your quips, your quotes, and everything else you have on this week's episode of SmackDown. Yeah, man, really good episode of SmackDown once again. Second week in a row where SmackDown basically blew the doors off of Monday Night Raw. Look, I'm not one of these guys who have always thought that was the case, that SmackDown was just so much better than Raw, but the last 2 weeks, it hasn't even been a contest. It hasn't even been close. I'm not making it through Raw. Now I'm wanting to see more SmackDown. Pretty cool stuff. And I have to say tonight's main event was très magnifique. Now I will say this, for the entire show, all three main title matches seem to have one, maybe two things in common. One, everybody came to fight. Everybody came to fight. Everyone seemed to have their A game on point as far as like aggression. It did lead to some sloppiness at times. But even with that being said, that is a minor criticism. Once again, I don't have a problem with a little bit of slop every now and then when you're getting this good of caliber matches, especially that main event. Let's talk about it, man. Let's open up with the main event, but not before I say a big hello to everybody in the chat hanging out with me live here on Dead on Dave Productions. Sleeping Angels, Terry Snow Queen, Reckless TV, that's the Mammogram, Pittsburgh Boy, the douchiest man in all the land, Joe Martin, second douchiest man in all the land, Clinton Gorman is here, Sarah Small is here, so is Jay Wilson, and a whole bunch of other people. Casey McLaughlin's hanging around, Guncannon is doing some moderation along with Terry Snow Queen. We got all kinds of good people hanging out, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get into it, man. It's Quinn Winstead's here and says, damn good show. I agree. That main event, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Look, from the second AJ Styles came out, everything seemed to change. AJ had an extra gear tonight. Maybe it's because he hasn't wrestled in a couple of weeks, but he looked really solid. I mean, the reaction, the interaction he had with the crowd. I think we're starting to see the beginning of a potential change in character to AJ. He was still very cocky even after the match, but I don't know. Just the handshake with John afterwards seemed to be a little bit, maybe we're going to get some kind of a double turn at some point. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said it. John Cena's never turning. Maybe he will. Maybe this is the time. No. No, he's not. Look, as far as the match goes, not just the ending, what a great match. The pacing was beautiful, man. Absolute wonderful pacing. I mean, really. Crazy pacing, fast-paced, hard-hitting. It did lead to a few botches, but that wasn't that big of a deal. I did enjoy it. I thought it was fantastically done. The spots were great. The high spots were fantastic, little word that there were in this match. Just great stuff. We don't have a lot of rules on this channel, but one of them is when this man calls, you to answer it. It never works out well for me, but I'm going to continue to do it. He's the man from North Kakalaki, that beacon of positivity, my good friend, Tommy NC 2010. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. I didn't get to watch SmackDown tonight, but wanted to call in and give the love. You know what I'm saying? To the Dead on Dave show is one of the most impactful shows here on YouTube, and it fills your brain with the insanity of SmackDown.
I do feel your brain. That's true, too.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch SmackDown tonight. I am watching Star Wars The Force Awakening, better content than what SmackDown can provide sometimes.
I know, man. SmackDown was awesome tonight.
Really? They
Yes.
actually pulled a bubble out of their ass?
It was great last week too, Tommy. You're not watching stuff. You can't comment on shit if you don't watch it, Tommy. You can't just call in and be all willy-nilly, all crazy lazy. You gotta watch shit. You want to have opinions, you at least gotta watch the shit. My God. But it's okay because you're getting ready to watch Star Wars Force Awakens. I got 2 Star Wars articles of clothing on right now, and I'm happy about it.
There has been an awakening in the Force, in the WWE.
What are you, Christian Bale? What are you, Christian Bale? Answer me! Swear to me! Fuck. Jesus. My God.
If you were to say WWE, it's like, a Jedi has risen.
I'm going to stab you in the face.
Force.
Tommy, wrap this up so I can get to my actual review. What else do you want to tell the kids? I'm going to stab you right in the face hole.
Hey, a kid once told me he wanted to eat my face and stab me in the face with a pencil when I was in school.
I just want to stab you. I don't want to eat your face. I'm staying away from the fatty meats, staying away from things that are bad for me. So I don't want to eat your face, but I kind of want to stab it. I kind of want to knife it right now. Say your final thoughts and get out of here.
Just want to say you're watching the Dead on Dave show, one of the most electrifying, jolting shows here on YouTube. If you want a little bit of, oh yeah, watch the Dead on Dave show because you're going to get filled up tonight.
I am going to fill you up. That's 100% right. Tommy, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Have yourself a good night. And make sure you guys check out Tommy NC 2010 over on the YouTubes. He's Tommy Talks. He is, nobody can see you being crazy. No one can see it. No one can see it. Tommy, have a good night, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Oh, Jesus. Over the top rope you go. What a dick. Okay. Really, really, really good main event, as we were saying. Now, I would love to elaborate on the beginning of the show. However, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Cena's promo. We're going to talk about the half of the tag team match that I did not see. Why didn't I see it, might you ask? Well, I was filming my very first segment on the all-new Andre Corbiel show. That's right. It's got a brand new co-host, and you're looking at him. I'm really happy with it overall. I thought we did a very good job. We went a little bit longer than I thought we were going to, but that was because once we got into the conversation of what we were talking about this week, which I think you guys are going to like the topic of, Andre and I've got such good chemistry, and we bounce off each other so well. I'm not going to lie, I was nervous, man. I don't think I've ever been nervous doing a show before. I don't think so. I was nervous, and I really didn't have a reason to be, but I felt like I was a little off at first. We talked about what we wanted to do, but then it was a little bit weird. It turned out to be a fantastic episode. I can't wait till you guys get to see it. And as soon as I get more information, I will tell you the wheres, the whens, the hows, the whys, and all of that good stuff. Very happy with it. Andre, of course, dressed in like a 3-piece friggin' suit. I'm sitting there looking like a schlub. I don't have any suits. I'm too fat. I can't fit. Can't fit in any suits anymore, man. So I got to get some new good suits. But still, it's going to be pretty crazy, and I am actually excited. I'm excited about the entire situation, and I can't wait till you guys get to see what we're doing together. And you guys got to support it, man. Support Andre Corbiel over on his channel, andrecorbiel.org. It's on my thing. Reckless TV donated $6.69. Just realized haven't shown you love yet. Here you go, first of many. That's the mammogram with a $6.69. You know what? We need a little 69 action. How about something that we haven't seen before? You know, there's a little 669 action. Let's go Chucky and Gizmo. Now this is some bizarre shit. Yes. That is creepy. Okay. All right. That was fun. The question was asked by some Dynamos. Are any chance you'll make it onto the brand? I am on the brand. The show will be on the website on Vince Russo's The Brand. I don't know if I'm ever going to be doing any one-on-ones with Mr. Russo, but we'll see, man. We'll see exactly what happened, and it's going to be interesting to see how all that goes, especially with some of the things that I have said about Mr. Russo in the past. But I just decided I'm going to go ahead and own it if I ever get the opportunity to talk to him. Then that's what we're going to do. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. The whole situation has been amazing. I'm going through some crazy stuff right now with Andre, and then, of course, the new Hooked podcast with my best friend, Tommy C, and, of course, the clown. Colossal is crazy. Oh, my God. Very excited about all of that. But that's all for later stuff. Let's talk about the parts of the show that I didn't get to see. I did catch up during some commercials. I saw John Cena make his triumphant return with a very John Cena-ish promo. Nothing new out of John during the promo. Not necessarily bad. It was a very John Cena promo. It was at the height of John Cena-ness. It was very Cena-y, and he did a good job with it. I mean, it wasn't a bad promo. It was just very much the same what we always see out of John Cena. Because I'm John Cena! You know, we see it. We know John Cena. We know it. We know this game by heart. You know, some people like it, some people don't. It is what it is. Did not mind it, and apparently John Cena can just make matches. And I kind of liked, he was very Boston tonight. He was almost Doctor of Thugonomish John Cena tonight, you know? It was very strange. It was very, very strange. Very weird. Some guy named us Dave is a 6-year-old boy in a 60-year-old man's body. That's actually not far the fuck off. I mean, my body is about that aged of a 60-year-old, and we all know the mentality is about of a 6-year-old. So, you know what? It's not that far off. Joshua Ash, get Dave 5K. That's what I'm talking about. 5K by the end of the year would be awesome. Don't think we're going to get there, but we very well could. I like the crowd messing with Cena a little bit with the Undertaker chant. Then Cena kind of with a little smirk. I think we all know this might be going at Royal Rumble, but John Cena can just do what he wants to do. He can go ahead and just say, I'm John Cena, and we're going to have a championship match. Jama Ahmed says this promo was different. He wasn't Super Cena. He actually used the word Super Cena during the promo. What are you talking about? He actually used the word Super Cena during the promo, but that's okay still. So we get past that and we go right into the first of 3 title matches tonight, none of which really disappointed. They were all pretty good in different ways. The Four Corners Tag Team title match between the Usos, American Alpha, Heath Slater and Rhino, and the Wyatt family. I've got to be honest, this was the shocker of the night for me. I only saw the second half of the match. I only saw American Alpha and the Wyatts. I didn't see the other two get eliminated, so I have no idea what happened there. I've really enjoyed what the Wyatts has done. At this new Wyatt family, I have absolutely been enamored with the chemistry between Bray Wyatt and most notably Randy Orton. Luke Harper's been very good too, but in a different kind of weirder way. And they are capitalizing on that now. They are cashing in. But I feel it's too early. I really liked where this was going. And I would have liked to have seen the Wyatts go a little bit farther. They just got together and they're already going to break them up. And I am not really a fan of that. I don't think it's a great idea. They're going down. Maybe they don't break them up fully, but there is certainly some tension between Orton and Luke Harper. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there full on, if it's going to be a full breakup, which it seems like it's going to, but I really don't know at this point. American Alpha winning the titles was an absolute shock to me in a lot of ways because it's a SmackDown. They didn't wait until Royal Rumble or anything. They went ahead and made them the tag champs now. It kind of feels a little bit long overdue. American Alpha, since they've made their debut, have been the best tag team maybe in the entire company. As far as the main roster goes, the Revival still holds. I think the Revival and DIY are still the 2 best tag teams in all of WWE. But on the main roster, American Alpha has been very good, man. They're winning in very predictable ways and doing very American Alpha things. But that's not a big deal. I really did enjoy the ending of the match. The weird push-off of we don't know who hit whom. And then American Alpha hitting the Grand Amplitude for the victory and their first ever tag team title reign. Going to be great to see where they go from here. And it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do with the Wyatts. Like I said, feels a little bit early to break them up. But you know what? American Alpha's champions. And you really can't get mad about it. It feels like it's the right call. American Alpha is a great team. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what they do as tag champions. So we'll see if it works out. By the way, hit that like button or I'll stab you right in the eyelid because I give 0 Fs, man. See how many Fs I give? You see any Fs around here? I don't see any F's around here. You know why? Because I don't give any. That's why. So hit the goddamn like button, or I'm going to go ahead and stab you right in the eyelid. All right, hit that like button, please. Thank you very much. Machinima likes the likes. That means I like the likes. I can't help it. Moving on from that, we got, after we got new tag team champions, we get a cool little segment with Renee Young. You know, she had a nice little night with, some Ziggler stuff. And then we saw this Dasha chick with James Ellsworth. And Ellsworth is kind of going back to the sympathetic character. Carmella looking good. Comes and gets her hooks into him again. Not a big deal there. And then that all leads us to Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss, my wife, my future ex-wife, Little Miss Bliss. I enjoyed this match. It was different, very sloppy. This was the sloppiest match of the night, and I didn't think it was a horrible match by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I do feel that there was some sloppiness going on, and it just felt like they were both really amped up. This was some brilliant ass shit, I gotta say. Using Alexa Bliss's double jointedness, how awesome did that look? God, I thought she really did break her arm. She looked great. That was really cool. I enjoyed the working over the arm by Becky, and then the nice little popping out of the arm. I loved that. I thought that was very well done. Very interesting there. How about La Luchadora coming back out? Looks like it was Naomi to me. You put a black chick in a mask, you could see through the holes, and there's only one black chick on the entire roster. So it looked like Naomi to me, but we're not sure. More than likely, it will turn out to be Naomi, which is a little unfortunate. We're going to get another heel turn? We're going to get another heel turn out of Naomi? That's just bizarre. I don't know. It's very strange. But that's what they're going to do, and that's not a very big deal to me. Becky is being pivoted. That's the biggest story I could see out of this. Becky is being pivoted. That means Alexa Bliss is going to have a brand new competitor for her women's championship. That's what this means. Maybe people missed it, but La Luchadora is coming in and going to be taking on Becky Lynch. That means Becky Lynch moving out of the title picture and Alexa Bliss moving on to take on whoever. I don't know who. Who? I have no idea. Maybe a returning Eva Marie? I don't know. Because you got another rivalry already happening. No, not Asuka. But you do have the Nikki Bella and whatchamacallit, Cat Lady. I don't know. It's weird. Big Ass Sauce said, it's definitely not Naomi. Looked like Naomi to me. When they zoomed in on her, chick was black. I'm just saying. Sequin Winstead, I think that was Mickey. No, maybe. I don't know. People are saying definitely not Naomi. I don't know, man. I got to be honest with you. I wish I could take credit for that saying, but it's actually already being kind of reported that it is Naomi, guys. You might want to go look it up because that's what I saw, but we'll see. I was being a little smarkish. Well, apparently Graham doesn't believe in protocol. I'm another person who just doesn't believe in protocol, doesn't want to let me finish a review, but that's okay. I love the mammogram, so I'm going to let him call in because he's a beautiful black god. What's the Nubian god is? That is the mammogram. What's up, Grammy? You're live with Dead on Dave.
Oh, my apologies, Dave.
It's okay. Stick it to the man. Fuck it. We've done you wrong. You go ahead. You interrupt me.
No, but that the whole my biggest thing tonight is the Randy Orton, the whole Wyatt family thing with Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't think that it's too soon.
You don't think that it's too soon?
No, and here's why. Okay, the whole way that Randy got brought into the Wyatt family, mm-hmm. All right, with the whole thing between him and Bray, was pretty good. And now I think that what's going to end up happening is that Randy's going to break the other two up. He's taking a page out of The Art of War.
Yeah, maybe. Divide and conquer. It's very possible.
Where the future enemy is from within.
Oh, yeah, you got it better than me. I still don't like it. I like what they were doing. If we go back to having a Randy war with individual members of the Wyatt family, it's just going to be the same thing that wasn't working. Since Randy's become part of the Wyatt family, however, it's just been a hell of a lot more interesting. Matt Kennedy says it was Tamina underneath the La Luchadora mask. Way too small to be Tamina. But you know what? That actually makes sense. She had the right complexion, but she looks small. I don't know. But you know what? I think Matt Kennedy is right. It's probably Tamina, because other people were saying the ass was wrong for Naomi.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't Naomi's ass.
That was not Naomi's ass. 100% right there. It could be Tamina. Tamina makes, you know what? I'm going to give Matt Kennedy the benefit there. I think it's Tamina. I totally forgot about her. Good call. Good call. Keep going, Grant.
There was no ass on that. There was no ass on that luchador.
No, it was
pancake. So that's Tamina, because you know Naomi's ass. I trust me. I know Naomi's ass.
I know you do. Every curve in there, it's a big one. No, 100% right. I you know what? I wasn't thinking about it. I was actually just kind of reading some of the dirt sheets that it was supposed to end up being Naomi. I actually personally don't want it to be Naomi. Tamina, though, I don't know. Tamina's got them wide ass shoulders. She looks like a man. You know, like I felt like I would have recognized seeing her. The complexion's right though, so I don't know.
It wasn't as easy to tell as Becky from last week.
Yeah, Becky was fairly obvious.
Yeah. Let's see. What else about SmackDown? Oh, SmackDown was fucking awesome. I can't complain about shit tonight.
No, not really. I complained a little bit about some of the sloppiness that we saw, because there was quite a bit of botches tonight, but it didn't really take away from anything.
Now, was that Slater thing a botch, or was that planned?
I didn't see the Slater thing. I'm talking more of some of the other stuff that we saw later on, like with Corbin, and especially the women's match. There was a lot of botches in that women's match.
Oh, yeah, but the Corbin match, I'll allow a few botches in that match, because that match was fucking great.
They went for it, man. They friggin' went for it. They went. Them and the women, both, they went for it. They went balls out. And the women's went labias out. It was good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like losing my faith in Ziggler, but he still sells everything like a goddamn champ.
He's a selling machine. I'll give him that. I just don't know what else is left for Ziggler. I really don't. I try to figure it out, but he's not going back to the Intercontinental Championship. He can't really do anything in the main title now that Super Cena is retaking it. So you got to figure he's going to be in the Royal Rumble for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view and probably be a Final Four guy there. That's the only thing I could think of.
Now feed him to Joe before you get Joe and feed him to Joe before you get Joe and fucking AJ.
Yeah, I like that. I really want to see Joe and AJ for the title. I'm hoping that Cena's not going to take the title off of AJ at the Royal Rumble. But if he doesn't, it more than likely means the return of The Undertaker. And that smirk that John gave during his promo may have been a precursor.
Oh yeah, he's definitely giving stuff away, and like, okay, out of as much as I don't know why I'm admitting this in public, but as much as I don't like John Cena, after tonight, I kind of want to see where this goes.
I do too. He seems to be a little more attitudinal than he has been in recent, almost years. He had a little bit of a, I hate this fucking word, but swagger tonight. He was bobbing a little bit, going back to like earlier 2005, 2004 John Cena, 2006-ish John Cena. I kind of liked it, man. It was very cool. He wasn't quite Boston John where he was dropping the R's, but he was damn close. He was definitely a little bit more thuggish than he usually is. But he still mixed in the same old of what Cena does. I didn't mind it, though. I liked what he did tonight.
But now he's not going to bury an individual. He's going to bury an entire era.
I don't give a shit. Undertaker needs to go. You know me, man. I am not the biggest Undertaker guy in the world. I have nothing but respect for his career, and I do think he's probably the greatest big man to ever live. Yes, including Andre the Giant. However, I'm ready for him to go. I'm ready. If that means
should Cena get the 16 though?
As long as the belt does not have anything to do with the Undertaker match, I don't care when and if Cena does get to 16. I don't have a problem if he takes over the all-time record, which, by the way, isn't 16 anyway. WWE just doesn't count 4 of Ric Flair's title reigns that he also had. The true record is 20. Ric Flair had 20 world title reigns. 4 just are not counted by WWE. But whatevs.
Vince doesn't count a few of those. It's all right. We will allow it.
Yeah, that's right. We'll accept it. We'll take it right up the pooper. Graham, anything else before I get you out of here? I'm going to finish up my thoughts, and then I'm going to take some more calls.
All right. Last thing, thank God the same writers don't write SmackDown, they write Raw.
Yeah, I know that's fucking true, because 2 weeks in a row, Raw got blown out of the water. I mean, blown out of the water.
Absolutely. All right. Finish up your thing. Sorry to bother you.
Hey, you bothered me. You didn't bother me, man. You never bothered me. I love me some mammogram. I appreciate the call, buddy, man, but now I'm going to throw your ass over the top rope. Land carefully.
All right.
Feet first, Graham. Feet first. All right, so now let's finish up with the live review, and then we will go into your calls. Like I said, I absolutely did enjoy the women's match. Thought it was very well done. I think you guys are right. It might be Tamina under that mask. So we saw some other stuff happen with Renee in the back with The Miz. They looked back at the slap from last week. Cool little segment with The Miz with bodyguards and in front of his dressing room. Renee does not put any hands on her, but she starts to get all excited when her Manses showed up and beats down The Miz. This is where Dean Ambrose needs to be, mid-card, feuding with The Miz, hopefully take the belt off of him. And this is good. I like this. I like The Miz in this situation, and I like Dean Ambrose in this situation. It's incredible. What Dean has done the last couple of weeks with The Miz has gotten my attention more than anything he did in the title situation, the main title situation with AJ. I don't know. We got some more back and forth between Nikki Bella and stuff and talking about the Natalya situation. She defends her life and her career, and she's happy, and it's not about her looks, it's about her determination, and she's in love with John Cena. Good for her. Not a lot of filler this week, man. It was match, and that's just how the whole night went. And we go right into the main event. Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles. AJ gets huge ovation, and he lived up to it tonight. If there was any lingering problems with his ankle, really didn't see it too much tonight. They did protect him. He didn't do some of the high, big spots that you'll see him do, like the flip and things. Kept it rather simple tonight, but very effective. AJ and Dolph working together against a very impressive Baron Corbin. Now, that's who I want to talk about. We talked about AJ earlier. We talked about Dolph a little bit as well. Baron Corbin impressed the balls off of me tonight. Great job by Baron Corbin. Man, he was fast. He was quick. He seemed to know everything that he wanted to do. I was very impressed with what he was doing. The power stuff was great. His power game was on point. He had a lot of great moments in this match. Beating up everybody, man. It was fantastic. It really was a cool thing to see. I had a lot of fun watching. I thought it was very well done. And he was impressive. He might have been the MVP of that match. He didn't take the pin. Still, it was good shit. Sael says, damn, Dave, no Taker love? I got plenty of Taker love, dude. Relax, man. I love me some Taker. But I'm ready for him to go. So, yeah, AJ Styles wins, but Baron Corbin made a hell of a mark tonight. And that is about going to do it for my SmackDown review. I turn the show over to you, good says and ladies. Go ahead and call in now on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, the number 702-751-2902. All that information you can find right on this beautiful graphic made by the one and only Guncannon. He made a wonderful graphic. There you go. So he did a great job as always. And I hope you guys are enjoying this episode of the Copious Review. But I want to get your calls so I can get the F on out of here. I want to go to sleep. I'm tired. So if there's no calls, I'm going to go to bed. Jama Ahmed, Dave, what'd you think of the CM Punk chats? Meh. They don't mean anything to me anymore. I don't care. I don't care that people chant for CM Punk. Who gives a shit? It's Chicago. We knew it was going to happen. Got shut down basically both nights, though. It didn't really matter. 480, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Awesome show. Absolutely loved it.
I agree.
Great stuff. I mean, there's not one thing I could complain about. I absolutely loved it.
Look, I am going to complain a little bit about the sloppiness, but I mean, like I said, it didn't take away from anything. But I do think it's important to... This is the type of sloppiness that is really forgivable because it was all in the heat of battle, so it didn't really matter that much. By the way, Kumar Jenkins in the chat says, I want to lick Alexa. You and me both, just not at the same time. What else you got for me, 480?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the 2 hours for me just flew by. That main event was incredible.
It truly was.
And AJ and Cena at the Rumble, I'm kind of happy it's happening, but there's no way they're topping that SummerSlam match, is there?
Probably
there's no
not, but I mean, maybe they will. Maybe if this is a double turn match. The double turn. Is it? Could it be? Could it be a double turn? I think it is. Oh my God, it's gonna be! Oh, it's gonna be a double turn! Ah! Sorry, I apologize. I was jerking off a banana.
Yeah, if AJ beats him clean again, Cena's turning.
I totally got no sold for jerking off a banana. Unbelievable. I got no response.
Well, that was kind of weird.
It was weird, but when you see me actually jerking off the banana, I think you'll find it hilarious.
Yeah.
Shut up. All right, you know what? Kevin Owens, fuck. You want to play this game with me? You want to dance, pal? Well, you can go straight to hell. Final thoughts before you get thrown over the top rope?
9 out of 10. Great show. Loved it.
Ooh, 9 out of 10. Oh, look at you. All right, man. Take it easy. I appreciate the call. I'm not in the mood tonight. I'm not in the mood. I'm just not. I'm not in any type of mood. I want to jerk off bananas. I want to have my figures fuck each other. That's really what I want to do tonight. I don't know why. I can't really help it. Joshua S. Cronin got a strike on his channel. It's not the first time. Probably won't be the last. Sorry, Joe Cronin. That sucks, man. It's not his first, though. Joe always bounces back. I'm sure he will again. It sucks. I don't know what to say. It's awful. It fucking sucks. I had a strike on my channel for about 17 minutes. Luckily, Machinima took care of that shit for me. Really sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. We are taking your guys' calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, and of course, number 702-751-2902. Let's take another call. 917. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Oh man, I'm SmackDown was so good. It's like you kind of want it to be a longer show, but then you don't because you know what happens when WWE shows.
Let's just keep it at 2 hours. We don't need to go to a third. Well, there's enough wrestling as there is, and most of it is not good. So let's just stay with what's working.
Yeah, SmackDown. I thought each match. You know, I often feel like SmackDown doesn't have the energy or the presence of an episode of Raw, despite the storytelling. But I feel like it had that tonight.
Tonight it did. Last week it did, and tonight it certainly did.
Yeah, and you know, Baron Corbin looked like a beast in his match. It's probably the best Baron Corbin match I've seen of him in a while, and I thought he did fantastic. Not too keen on Dolph Ziggler. The way he went out, I thought he went. Well, I guess him going out like a loser is how he's supposed to go out.
It's the best move. It's the best move. You don't want to give it to Corbin there. Ziggler, it's not a big deal if he takes another pin. It doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter. I will say this. What you said about Baron Corbin is 100% true. In fact, I think that was Baron Corbin's best performance yet in a WWE ring, period.
I'm glad that the Wyatts finally lost the titles.
Finally? They held it like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks too long.
Really? See, I liked what they were doing.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
I just think the Wyatts are, the whole Wyatt family thing is a dud. It's a failure. Not the current iteration necessarily, but the Wyatts as a whole. And I think that we just need to cut their losses and say, you know what, this was a failure. Let's not try to push this any more than they.
They're over. The thing is, for all their failings, they're over. I mean, that's the thing, and you could make the argument that this iteration has been basically the best we've seen out of the Wyatts. Randy Orton looks re-energized creatively in a way we have not seen in a very long time. Bray seems to be doing some of his best work we've seen. He's kind of pulled back on the supernatural shit, and this is a little bit just darker, but in a different way and a more humanized way. I'm really enjoying what they were doing, so I'm a little bit disappointed at the fact that they are going to, not necessarily that they've lost the titles, but that they're being broken up so soon.
I think, well, I mean, them being together does give Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper a reason to be on the same brand. Because other than being together in a group, they don't have any reason to be on one brand. They're both better on separate brands. Mm-hmm. So I guess that gives them a reason to be around each other still.
Yeah.
But I think this Bray is, it's just hard to take him seriously because he loses so many big matches. And it's just like...
I think that's very looking at the past. I mean, what he's done more recently, it's starting to go the opposite way. Look, you can't argue with the fact that he's lost a lot, but you also can't argue with the fact that, just like Dean Ambrose, in spite of those losses, the guy stayed over. That says a hell of a lot, man. I mean, some of the most over guys in history have lost matches earlier in their careers. Doesn't necessarily mean anything because this is not a real competition. This is not a real sport. Wins and losses don't matter much. It's professional wrestling. As long as you're able to stay over, you're going to have an opportunity to continue to climb the ranks. And the fact is, through good, bad, or indifferent, the Wyatts have stayed relevant. They still get amazing reactions. They look great. They're able to do small things to tweak their roster of Wyatts. And right now, I feel the three that they had was absolutely their best iteration. But I get what you're saying. I just think it's not the right way of looking at them and how their real value is, because they're still over.
And I'm with you with the whole Taker thing. I'm tired of Taker. I've been tired of him for years. I kind of wish, that Shawn Michaels feud is like his last thing. I think that there's not much you can do with the guy anymore. Like, I get he's still a draw. He's always going to be a draw, but that's not an excuse to keep him on TV. I think he needs to go out in a retirement match against somebody. I think that's the way for him to go out to say, what he's done, and fans don't have to keep, have him keep coming around. It's just like there's no sense. He adds to the brand, but he isn't necessary to have around. He's become more of a detriment at this point.
He can't have matches. That's the thing. He has value with his presence, but he can't work anymore. And the longer that they're waiting, it's not going to help him have a better match to go out on. If they're waiting for some epic moment for The Undertaker to ride off into the sunset, well, they're about 5 years too late for that shit. It's just not happening. Last year's match overall at WrestleMania was a disappointment. Yes, Shane took the dive off the cell, and that was thrilling. But if you go back and you look at the whole of that match was fucking boring. It was boring as shit, and it was mainly because The Undertaker can't fucking walk. He can't walk. It is what it is. It's time to let it the F go. The reality is, if he's going to be in there with somebody, I'd rather be John Cena, because at least John can carry his ass around the ring. He's big enough. You can't have a guy in there that is not going to be big enough to be able. That's why I hated the idea of AJ Styles, and it looks like they did too, because it really does seem like they're going Cena Undertaker, and this could be his final match. Yeah, I get it. They're going to feed him the Undertaker. Well, they're not feeding the streak, so I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Let's just let this the fuck go.
I got a question for you, though, Dave. I want to ask you something, because in 2017, I think we're going to see some big things on SmackDown if there aren't too many big roster changes. I think we're going to see the AJ Styles face turn. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see Undertaker on TV more. I think we're going to see the rise of guys like Baron Corbin and even The Miz, and Dean Ambrose heel turn, if I didn't mention that already. And maybe a John Cena heel turn or a tweener role with Cena, as he's not on TV as much anymore. And I think that is a scary, scary, scary SmackDown to be on, especially the way Cena has been gathering so many hardcore fans, that hardcore fan base, which even though it isn't big, it still matters in a lot of ways. And I think that is a scary SmackDown that I don't see how Raw can compete with I think the only way Raw could ever compete is if Brock Lesnar's on TV more, or we see the Roman Reigns heel turn. I don't see any way else.
I think we're going to see a couple of changes. I think we're going to see AJ Styles with a face turn go to Raw. And I believe a big name's going to come back over. It might be Roman Reigns, but I got a feeling, I'm just a gut feeling here, it's going to be Kevin Owens. Just have a feeling. They're going to break him and Jericho up. Jericho's probably going to be ending his run sometime after WrestleMania, and Owens probably moves over to SmackDown in a trade for AJ Styles. I just got a feeling that's what they're going to end up doing. I think it's a good move for both guys, to be honest. As far as some of the other things that we're going to see, I also think we're going to see Samoa Joe on SmackDown very soon, which is also another huge thing. Undertaker, as long as he doesn't get hurt, which you never know, we will see him more on television, which could be a good thing. Not necessarily, but it could be. John Cena, I think you're spot on with him. I think over the next 6 months, we will see him more than we have the last 6 months. But he will be taking breaks in and out as well. And we'll see what he does as far as where he is title contention-wise. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to go with him yet. A tweener role is possible, but you can make the argument he already has kind of been that. He's not going to change too much the way he is, fundamentally. But we'll see. It's going to be quite interesting. Look, I appreciate the call, man. What's your rating for tonight?
Tonight, I'll give it 8.5.
There you go. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Have yourself a really good night. And over the top rope you go. Good stuff. We are taking your calls live here on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, that number, 702-751-2902. I want to hear from you. I want to put my words inside your face. You need to put your words inside of me. Call me up. Let me know what you thought of tonight's SmackDown or whatever else you got going on in your little brains. I want to hear it. I want to digest it. I want to take it inside of my soul. And I want to smush it around. Make sure you guys tell the world what you're doing, who you're watching, where you're watching it. Go over on the Twitters and let everybody know. Put the link in there. Say, I'm watching Dead on Dave, motherfucker. Come watch him. He's great. He's fucking amazing. Go watch this fat man. He's incredible. So get him over here. You got to let him know. All right? That being said, if we're out of calls, I'm out of time. So here's what I want you guys to do up in the Chizak. Go ahead and hit me up with your rating tonight. I want to know what you thought of SmackDown out of 10. Hit me up in the Chizak. Sarah Small, Dave, you're awesome and amazing. Well, thank you. Sensual. All right, let's take another call. Alex O'Brien, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
SmackDown was one of the best shows I've seen this year. It's like,
it wasn't better than last week. I like SmackDown a lot tonight, but I thought last week's SmackDown was friggin' amazingly good. This tonight, I thought the wrestling wasn't as good as it was last week. I don't know, maybe it was better than last week. It was certainly close. Both shows were great.
And that La Luchador, it's definitely not Mickey James.
It's not Mickey.
No, it's not Mickey.
A lot of dirt sheets are saying
it's either
Alicia.
Alicia.
It's going to end up being Naomi, but I don't know. It's not Alicia. Alicia's on Raw. She ain't leaving Raw.
Yeah. But Baron Corbin, yeah? He's my new spirit animal.
Man. He was awesome tonight, wasn't he?
He was so good. I'm going to end it now because I'm so tired. I'm on like 50 Red Bulls.
Get some sleep. You sound way too young to have 50 Red Bulls. Don't have your little heart explode. Have a good night, buddy. Let's take some more calls. Matt Kennedy, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Dave, what is up? What is up, man? How is your night going?
It's just going, brother. I'm just doing my thing, man. What's up?
Loving the scarf, by the way, man. Your wife did a good job looking into that.
It's pretty good. It feels really good on my nipples. Just saying.
That's what they're meant for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, really did enjoy SmackDown. I do got to agree with you. Two things that bug me the most is, of course, the commercial breaks. I hate that about every single live show.
Yeah, advertising, it doesn't bother me. Fuck it.
Yeah, you got to get used to it. It's been doing that for years.
Make that money, son.
Yeah, got to do it somehow. And then, of course, there's a very, very, very botchy night. I know you didn't watch the beginning of the tag team match, but Heath Slater, he got eliminated by slipping off of the top rope. It looked like it was botched, and then one of the Usos kicked him in the face, and he got knocked out. Probably gonna get the end of Heath Slater and Rhino. Those two, because that's been boiling up for a while now. Those are probably gonna get breaking up. The Wyatts. One point that I gotta make is, like you said, you can't really be too upset about American Alpha winning it.
No.
I would have preferred like an emotional win, like how they won it at NXT Takeover Dallas.
Yeah.
With an emotional win and a great match, like in a heated feud against the Wyatt family in that sorts, probably at the Royal Rumble. And I do think, and I really did enjoy what the Wyatt family was doing with Randy Orton and everything like that. And and it sucks that once Bray Wyatt got a title, they took it off of him within a month.
Yeah.
So
I think a big reason for it might be because having them as monsters inside of the tag team division with American Alpha is counterproductive. And I think that might be the whole, like, why. So the question is obvious: why put the titles on them in the first place? It's a transitionary title, I guess. I mean, maybe it's just one of those things. Just kind of check the block on Bray Wyatt to make people. I don't know why. I can't come up with a good reason as why they put the titles on them to take it off just a few weeks later in the manner that they did, other than they realized maybe they made a mistake. Because if you have the Wyatts as this monster faction, and they're beating the shit out of people, as Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton should do. If they're a team, like, nobody should be beating them. I mean, this is a great, great team. It's a superstar team. Having that in that division, it cleans out the division. And unfortunately, they can't do that to American Alpha. It wouldn't be right to them. It would completely kill the momentum. So you take the belts off of them and you put it on American Alpha now, which... yeah, it's a little anticlimactic, but it makes sense logically if you think about it in those terms, I guess. It's the best logic I can come up with.
I feel like in a perfect world, you would have had Bray Wyatt with the WWE Championship and the Tag Team Championships on Randy Orton and Luke Harper, and then they wouldn't have held on to the Tag Team Championships for a long time, only just to, like, they have all the titles, they're the super dominant team. That would have been pretty cool. But it is what it is. That is probably my only big issue with that. It's like the kind of like uneasy feeling, but I loved how SmackDown, how they kicked Raw's ass this week with only 3 wrestling matches. They had more wrestling in one show than Raw has in like a whole entire month, which is unbelievable. I love it.
Raw has been awful the last 2 weeks. I mean, awful. This week wasn't horrible. It was bad. It wasn't horrible because I love what Braun Strowman's doing. But last week was...
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, Braun Strowman is the only one that's saving Raw.
I love what Braun Strowman's doing.
Yeah, I love it. I loved how he basically demolished the filler match.
Yeah, right.
But the women's match, Alexa Bliss, maybe she's double jointed, but I believe that she probably broke her arm. Like, that was gruesome, and she played it off very, very well.
The funny thing is, I've read, I think I've heard her talk about in an interview that she is double jointed. I want to say I didn't even read about it that long ago. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts they end up talking about it during SmackDown Talking Smack or whatever. I got a feeling they're going to end up talking about it. Because she didn't break her arm. She was fine. That was double jointedness.
But it was great selling. It totally made up for the great for the botches that were in the match, because it was a very sloppy match. Both of them were very, very hyped. It was a very high profile match. Like you said, it could have been Tamina. I'm looking back on it. I watched it multiple times. Tamina's my only guess. My second guess is Mickie James. I do think if it's not Tamina, it's Mickie. It was kind of darker, and her build wasn't as stocky as Tamina's. Yeah. But it also can be Naomi, of course, because of the ass.
I feel like by having Mickie in a mask, it's, especially because she came back into NXT as a face, you're gonna have her go into a heel situation. I don't know if I like that. I think you're kind of missing the big pop of her coming out. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can do it because it's Mickie James. She can basically do whatever she wants. But I don't know. Tamina makes sense, but it didn't look right. Naomi doesn't make sense and certainly didn't look right. I was just reading it a lot of places.
But you know what is good though? We're wondering, and it makes us want to keep watching.
That's true. That's a very good point, and that would mean that SmackDown, with its grand total of like 6 fucking women competitors, have 3 feuds that we're going to be interested in, because Alexa's going to get a number 1 contender. You got, unless it ends up meshing with Natalya and Nikki, which is very possible. And then, of course, you would have the La Luchadora Becky Lynch situation. So pretty impressive that they're able to get that much juice out of a very small division.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing a lot better than Raw in that aspect too. So props to SmackDown.
They're killing Raw. They're killing them.
Killing it.
Murdering them.
Sure, Nia Jax was feuding with Sasha, but who cares? She hasn't been on television for the past freaking 2 months. How am I supposed to care about her, you know?
Right. And Bayley and Charlotte isn't exactly lighting up the world the way that people would have hoped because they're having a match every fucking week. You know, it's just creatively, it just seems with a smaller roster, which you wouldn't really think they'd be able to do, SmackDown is just getting more out of their wrestlers and creatively than Raw is, plain and simple.
I watched the first Raw. I watched the replay of the first Raw after the draft, which was probably the best Raw of the year and probably the only good Raw of the year in my eyes, because ever since then it's just been a downhill slope, and and SmackDown has been at a steady incline ever since, and right now they're kicking ass. So. I think
there was a few really good Raws up in there, and then SmackDown up until the last 2 weeks, I think SmackDown has been utter fucking garbage for almost 6 weeks. Up the last 2 weeks, something changed after that last pay-per-view and after Survivor Series. SmackDown the last 2 weeks, they've changed course completely. All of the mistakes that we had been seeing creatively with SmackDown, the not having wrestling on the show, because that's been my biggest complaint about SmackDown. It's been billed as a wrestling show. There's been no fucking wrestling. Last 2 weeks, it's been balls to the wall wrestling. Very well done. Interesting matchups. And Raw is just aimless. It feels like nobody is steering the ship on Monday Night Raw.
No, Raw's AIDS. Raw's pretty AIDS. And but I can tell you who's not AIDS, and that is Baron Corbin, despite the fact that he botched another move. He botched the super kick false count there.
Didn't even bother me.
No, it didn't even bother me. It didn't even affect the caliber of the match. AJ Styles is a god because he knew how to kick out at the very, very last millisecond. God bless him. And Baron Corbin, man, he can hang with the top guys. You know, 2017 is going to be his year. I'm so
Baron's on the verge. Baron might be a dark horse for the Royal Rumble. He might win that thing. Baron Corbin is impressing me the fuck out of me, man. I mean, my God.
His entrance is awesome. His heel work is awesome. His promo work is getting better and better. And his in-ring work when it comes to his finisher, which is one of the best finishers in the
He had a weak one tonight, though. That last one, he seemed to make a little bit of a miscalculation. I mean, it worked out, but it was a little weak.
Yeah, good thing Dolph is a great seller because Dolph made it.
Thank God Dolph just throws himself into everything. Very impressed with Corbin. But once again, you got to give credit to, I know that he was a little bit hobbled a little bit the last couple of weeks. AJ Styles is the fucking man, dude. He is unbelievable, man. Even without the full repertoire that we would usually see, especially in a triple threat match, the other two guys stepped up, and AJ just did what AJ Styles does. He's amazing. He's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
You know you're good if you can come in your first year, beat John Cena, win the WWE Championship, and win over the casual fans when they have no idea who you are by just being that awesome, which is amazing. Props to AJ, and he's kind of becoming a tweener. Like today, he showed a lot of face work. He teamed up with Dolph Ziggler for almost half the match against Baron Corbin, and he even shook John Cena's hand. So it's kind of like he's a tweener. He's a crowd favorite, you know. So yeah, I mean, shoot, I mean, I'm all for it. I love AJ. He's awesome in every aspect, and so if he faces Joe at WrestleMania, I hope AJ keeps the WWE Championship against John Cena at the Royal Rumble. If not, then we'll get of course, John Cena versus Taker match, or even an AJ versus Taker versus Cena match.
I can't see that. I would love to see Cena and Undertaker without the belt on the line. I think it's an easy match to sell. You don't really have to worry about too much. They can take care of each other. Why not? It's a draw. Go ahead and do that. And you keep that belt on AJ. You give us AJ and Samoa Joe, and watch the fucking wrestling smart community lose their goddamn mind that a TNA Slammiversary main event is going to be main eventing WrestleMania. Holy fuck, will they lose their minds? And I want to see that shit because they're gonna kill it. They're gonna kill it.
Dixie Carter will drop on the spot.
she's about to be dropped anyway because she's got a couple of days left of actually meaning anything in TNA.
Yeah. Did you watch Matt Hardy's their delete that Hardy compound, the delete thing?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I missed your review on that.
Did you? Like you've called in for a while here, man. I've known you for a while. What did you think of it, man? Because I have not been a fan of any of the deletion shit. I thought this was the weakest of all of them, and that's saying something to me. They killed a motherfucker. I mean, come on, man. The meta references were killing me. Nothing was good. Nothing was good. Kid winning fucking match. Oh my God. I was just like, no.
Dave, it's all right. Are you okay? You went away from the mic. I can't see you. Are you still good? You alive?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm still here.
Okay. I watched the first one. I watched the last. I didn't watch kind of in between with the other stuff because I've never been a big TNA guy besides watching Joe and AJ and like the other stuff.
Christopher Daniels and all that,
Yeah, all that good stuff. But I liked the first one. It was completely bizarre back in I believe August or June.
It was like July. It was only 6 months ago.
Yeah. But I watched your 2016 review like the Bad, Ugly, and What the Fuck.
One of my favorite shows I've ever done was that year in review. I put a lot of work into that thing. I love that show, and I hope more people watch it and they enjoyed it because that's one of my favorite shows I've ever done.
Oh, it's excellent. You had amazing points on there. You made great points, and I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite videos of yours. So props to you for that. Yeah. And like you said, Matt Hardy, he can only do so much because people are getting so tired of it. I wouldn't really say I'm tired of it. I would just say it's. I mean, what
it needs to be reined in. It needs to be reined in a little. It's too much. I like the creativity that Matt shows, but what we saw at that last deletion, it was fucking backyard wrestling. I think they had a fight on motorcycles at one point. I mean, what? Come on, what is happening? Why is this acceptable? Why are fucking hipsters buying into this? I don't get it. But I don't know. I guess when you're desperate.
Attitude Era, backyard wrestling, who cares? People like gruesome. I don't know. People like different stuff. I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah,
I get that. But the reality is, this stuff doesn't work. I mean, even Attitude Era, people forget a lot of shit failed in the Attitude Era. And it was usually when shit went in this direction. It just doesn't translate. People can't connect to it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Wrestling is about suspending your disbelief. You want to be taken to a certain point, but if you get pushed too far, when motherfuckers start getting murdered, when people start shooting fireworks at each other, when weed whackers and babies are winning matches, you can't connect with it because it's fucking ridiculous. It's just, even by wrestling terms, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's why you don't like Lucha Underground either.
It's exactly why I don't like Lucha Underground.
Yeah,
and I think Lucha can have some great wrestling matches at time. Fantastic wrestling matches at time. And they got one of the best badass looking motherfuckers in all of wrestling right now in Mil Mascaras. Fantastic looking. He's terrifying looking.
Yeah, Dave, I think people are probably calling from ahead in the chat. I don't know. I'm not looking.
No, I don't give a shit. I'm getting ready to get out of here anyway. But I appreciate the call, man. I really do. Great call, Matt. Great, fantastic call. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
You have yourself a good night, buddy.
You too, but happy holidays.
You too, man. Have a happy new year. Don't die. Too many people are dying. Don't fucking survive. Survive the next 4 days. Fuck, man.
Yeah, get this year over with. I'm done, man.
I'm telling you.
2016. Let's close this year out.
Done. Donezo. All right, buddy. Take it easy. Have a good night. Over the top rope you go. I think that's going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody calling in tonight. We had a very, very productive, some would say copious night. I think it was a copious night. We did 2 shows. I recorded another. The first Andre Corbiel show with Dead on Dave as the brand new co-host will be up fairly soon. In fact, I'm going to go and send him the clip right friggin' now. That's what I'm going to do. Glad I remembered. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I appreciate all the support, all the love, all the likes, all the subscriptions, all the shares. We'll see you next time. Make sure you're watching everybody on my featured channels list. I really do appreciate you guys showing up, showing out each and every single night. It means the world to me. We will see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Happy holidays to all you motherfuckers. Stay alive to 2017. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious. And peace.